Hey, hey, Universe and mining family. Grab your shovels and your pickaxes. Welcome to the show. I'm Nemesis, and of course, I'm not your babysitter. Do your own research, but let's dig in. New York, Plattsburg pushing for crypto mining regulation. The city of Plattsburgh's Common Council is considering regulations to protect residents from higher electricity bills caused by crypto miners. This is another one of those towns where they're actually getting hydroelectric power, so for commercial usage, it's really cheap for commercial mining or any kind of commercial data center. Now, I'd be interested to know if they're also planning on putting regulations down on regular data centers that might be looking at their town for possible cheaper electricity for their cloud mining service or their cloud services too. And it's shouldn't be just isolated to miners, because cloud data centers take up just as much electricity, they got just as much cooling, so it's not just mining that does this. And I hope they don't do go down the same route that what's that one town in Pennsylvania, Ephrata or something like that, and where they did a 1-year ban on it, because banning stuff really helps, you know. That always stops Bitcoin. Just ban it and Bitcoin goes away, right? It worked every time. But let's see what these people have to say on this one. I'm really hoping that they're not pushing for a ban. For me, now this is my opinion. If I was going to put a regulation down trying to protect my residents, if I was one of these council members, whatever, I would put down a timeline growth. This way, they only allow so many miners in, or so many big farming facilities or data centers coming in, maybe 1 or 2 a year. This way, the following year, when they have to rewrite their contract up for purchasing more electricity for the year, they can allocate a bigger contract and get better rates on their electricity and get more of it. So let's see what they have to say in the long run. Access to cheap electricity in relatively cooler climates makes a city or country a more preferred location for cryptocurrency miners. The power-heavy industry needs electricity not only for powering its miners, but also to keep the facility cool. And this is the same thing that's for data centers too. However, the city of Plattsburgh in New York doesn't intend to let crypto activities go unchecked. The city is currently pushing for extra regulations in the sector. The Press Republican carried a statement from the city of Plattsburgh Common Council that stated that the public is aware of the crypto mining industry's heavy reliance on cheap industrial power rates. The lower tariffs are because of the Municipal Lighting Department, MLD, which purchased cheap hydroelectricity from the St. Lawrence River operations of New York, of the New York Power Authority. Like I said, hydropower seems to be pretty good whenever they're doing green energy. It's also cheaper. However, once this power runs out, the city has to buy power from the open market, which could be 7 times as expensive as the St. Lawrence River power. Yeah, because you're not contracted for it. I get it. During December of 2017 and January 2018, usage spikes hit the city, caused MLD customers to pay as much as $300 extra per month. The city then requested a public service commission to instruct crypto miners to pay the surplus bill. Following this, the city, along with some other concerned municipalities, was a petition to public service commissions to establish a new tariff structure that makes crypto mining operations pay for the entire overage of power from the city's quota. Now, I don't think that's right either. I think that they should slow down the growth of the miners so that they can contract more power the following year. But that's just my opinion, of course. And if they charge the miners any kind of overage, yeah, that's going to help the the residents out, but it's going to push the miners right out of their town. And yeah, they're gonna have their power rate right where they want it, but I wonder how many people that each one of these facilities are employing from that particular town that will go unemployed the moment that they uproot out of their town. So a taxpayer that pays his taxes, or just cheaper overall electricity. It's just kind of like one of those double-edged swords. Do you create a job, or do you pay more money in the long run? But I think that I don't know what their situation is and how they have to run their contracts for buying power, but I would be thinking that if you rewrite your contract for more electricity every year, you can actually accommodate the mining facilities coming into your area. But that's, again, my own 2 cents on that. Oh, here we go. They're mentioning Ephrata, the town in Pennsylvania, recently opted for a 12-month moratorium on new mining operations in the local area, which means that they are banning any kind of new mining operations from coming in, big or small. They do not want it at all, until they can, quote-unquote, figure out what they're going to do with the space. It's a bunch of garbage. It just means that they're trying to figure out how can they make just a little more money off these people. Can they squeeze them for a little more? If they do, I have a feeling they're going to watch those mining facilities go away, and then there's going to be at least a dozen people that are going to be jobless. Of course, that's probably what the town really wants: more jobless people, not taxpayers. During the year-long ban on crypto mining activities in the region, a commission will be tasked to investigate the best ways to manage the issue. See, trying to figure out what to do with the space. Trying to, be a babysitter. Oh, we need more regulations. We need somebody that's going to sit there and watch everything. Yeah, because the police do a great job in the long run. No town has gangbanger activity in it because the cops are watching everything. Police states work. This decision by the authorities doesn't do anything significant to the 4 mining operations that are already within the city. They're just, like I said, they're not wanting anybody new, big or small. However, Plattsburgh is trying to go a different route, it seems. In the press release, it wrote, "The combination of our petition in the New York State Public Service Commissions and the Sense proposal to modify the local laws should protect our citizens and act as a model for the municipalities around the country and around the world that are trying to cope with such rapid growth of this industry in their communities." I hope that Plattsburgh is, going to try to set the precedence out on there. If any of those people are watching me at any point in time, I would say that see if you can, rewrite your contract every year, or however long your contracts are written up for. At the end of that contracted year, you contract automatically for a little more electricity from the hydro dam, and you allow another mining facility to come into your town and create jobs. As long as your town can handle it. I wouldn't want to see a mining facility being put into a residential area just because there was a building available. That would give the mining facilities and the miners in general just a bad name. Just like that one company in South Carolina, Because LLC, built a mining facility right in the residential area where you can actually hear them for a good half mile to a mile away with all the industrial fans. That's not a good thing. But for them to make the argument of, utilizing too much power, if the town has already got good electricity rates, the miners shouldn't be coming in and, again, disrupting that town, just like Because LLC is disrupting their town. The miners going into Plattsburgh shouldn't be disrupting their town, the town that they're in too. They should be incorporating in with the community and working along with them. So I would say, if there's a way to be able to contract in electricity differently, and then slow down the growth of the miners, that I'd actually be in agreement with. This way they can kind of control, and nobody's being overcharged on their electricity as a current resident of that town. Otherwise, the only other option really is putting the miners on one plan for electricity that is completely separated from the whole town, and seeing if maybe them buying it on the open market is going to be good in any way, shape, or form. But I don't think it is, and I think that if they try to go down that route, the miners will just leave to go somewhere else again. The miners are looking for cheap electricity and an easy way to keep all their equipment cool. So whether it's using AC power or just a bunch of industrial fans, this all takes electricity too, that also eats into their bottom line. So with that being said, what's your guys' thoughts on this? Are you for the bans, against the bans? Do you have an idea that you think that would work out better than what they're actually already proposing? Drop a comment in down below, and while you're down there, smash that like button, hit the subscribe and the bell notification. And of course, I'll see you guys next time.